Anthony. Okay, I'm going to give you a little sequence just to do on your own at home. Hopefully you'll be able to use it for a long time. Okay, so starting in your table, just do a quick warm up of the hips. Ground into your hands. A little bit of a sway through your hips. Let your hips crack out like mine. And then grounding down into your palms, feel your knuckles, ground so that your chest lifts away from the floor, and pull your shoulder blades down and back as you look straight to the floor. So you're even lifting your ribs in here, side abdominals, your obliques, pulling in. Curl the toes under, lift your knees, push back, downward facing dog. Good, take a deep breath here, inhale. Exhale. Look to the front, walk your feet forward. Flat back, inhale, lengthen. Fold, exhale. Inhale, come up. Good, go right into chair, right on your knees. So in chair pose again, notice your glute med. You want to squeeze the glutes in. Imagine that you had a block between your thighs and that your knees are kind of pushing against an elastic band. So both inward rotation of your thighs and then push out with your knees a little bit. Engage your glutes. The glute max, the glute med. Really feel that. Drop back into your heels a little bit and lift your chest a little more. One more breath here. Exhale, fold. Flat back, inhale. And step back, plank position. Again, pull your shoulder blades back and down. Notice your core, belly in. Look slightly ahead, exhale, lower down. Good, inhale, come up. Chest lifts, shoulders down. Squeeze your glutes here. Come back down. Locust pose, arms lift. So in this pose, you're really lurking on the glute again, lifting. So notice your glute med up high. Even lifting here will help you to squeeze and identify that muscle. Lift your chest a little higher. Reach back and forward. One more breath. And bring your hands down. Come up again, cobra. Squeeze and lift. Okay, come back down to the floor. Push back up, high plank. Downward facing. Good. Lift your right leg up and step it through. Runner's lunge. Push into your right foot and start to steer your inner thighs toward each other. Kind of pull them in as you bring your right hip forward. Get light on your fingers. Take a couple of breaths here. Really feeling more of a stretch in your left hip flexor. Tune into the sound of your breath here. In, breath out. And then coming up, hands on your front thigh. Just one hand, your right hand. Curl your toes under and give your glute a little squeeze. Good. Reach up with your left hand. Up and over, a little stretch. Soft shoulders. Bring your hands back down. Okay, lift your knee up. And then you're just going to slowly walk your left foot in a little bit closer. You can stay on your toes and just start to peel your right hip back as you lengthen over your front thigh. You might even drop your head here. So as you're doing this, maybe your back foot plants on the ground like a pyramid pose. And you can squeeze the glute here. Fire it up. Nice. Take one big breath in. A little extra fold. Let your head drop again. Peel your right hip back. And then you're going to bend your front knee. Come up. Stay in this pyramid pose for the legs here. Now hips are open to the front. You can walk your right foot to the right a little bit. And I want you to engage your left glute here now, so the glute med. Again, squeeze and lift. Lift out of your waist. I think we did this the other day. So you're going to reach your left arm forward as you hinge. Keep engaging your back leg. So you want to squeeze, 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 squeeze. Lift, lift, lift. Peel the right hip back. Remember the femur bone is connected to your hip. And it's pointing in the direction of your second toe on the right side. Hinge and then drop your hand down. So you might take here, again, squeeze the left side and take your right arm out to the horizon. Look at your thumb. Nice. Breathing here. Belly in. Heart moving away from your sitting bones. One more here. Breathe in. And then bring it down. Bend your knee. Hands to the floor. Step back into that lunge position. Press your heel back as you draw your right hip back. Heart forward. One big breath. Bring your hands on the inside. And see if you can step back, really slow plank position. Squeeze and lift. Fire up the glutes here. Shoulders pin back. Lower down. Inhale, come up. Downward facing, exhale. Lift your left leg up. And then bring your left foot forward. Come into your lunge. Stay in your lunge. Keep pressing into your left big toe mound. And draw your chest forward a little bit. Get a little lighter on your fingers. Keep pushing into the left foot as you peel your left hip back. Curl your back toes under, come up. Hand under thigh. Squeeze and lift your right glute. The whole glute, so the entire back. Lift your right arm up. Reach up out of your waist, up and over to the side. Keep pushing down into your left foot. Come back up. Hands down. Lift your knee. Take a pause here, deep breath in. And then step your right toes in a little closer. Maybe the foot stays flat, or you can stay with a little bend in your right knee and stay on your toes. You're flexible enough, you can drop that heel. Okay, and then steer now, again, same thing. The femur bone, is like pointing in the direction of the knee pointing in the direction of your second toe. Lift your chest here. And then start to fold either on your back toes or press into your feet. Squeezing your right glute here again. Keep peeling the left hip back. And just hinge over your thigh. And your shin, forehead might come towards your shin. Push into the floor with your feet. Belly in and up. One more breath. Okay, bend your knee and just come up into that pyramid pose. So you're going to come up here, both legs straight if you can. And you need to readjust. Left foot to the left. And then slowly come forward, reach your right arm to the front, but peel that left hip back and squeeze your glute here, both sides, if you can. Reach, 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 reach. Right hand down. From here, left arm reaches out to the side. And look at your thumb. Keep peeling your left hip back, but squeeze and lift your back leg and lift the glute. Squeeze the glute. Lengthen your heart away from your sitting bones here. Deep breaths. One more here. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Hands down. Bend your knee. Hands to the floor. Come back to the lunge. Lift your chest. Hands on the inside. And slowly you can lift that heel up. And just press back. Plank position. Pause here. Good. Come all the way down. Okay, locust pose again. Squeeze the glutes before you even come up. So notice your tailbone tucking back. Press the tops of your feet, squeeze and lift the glutes again, and just a little hover. Hands over, just above the ground, and then you can just lift them back. Squeeze and lift. Tops of your feet press down. Reach back through your fingers. Now lift the legs. Squeeze the glutes more. Activate the glute meads here. A little extra lift in the low back as well. One more breath. Hands come down, cobra, lift up. And then push back down to a puppy stretch or a child's pose. And then walk your hands back, tabletop. Give your hips a little sway. So let's just work with table here, grounding down into your knuckles. Lift your right leg straight back. Keep your hips even and squeeze. So you're pressing through your heel. Push the floor away with your hands and pull your shoulders back. Squeeze the glute, and you're going to lift the leg. So just pulsing up and down. Pulse that back leg. Keep the hips even and feel your glute med. You should feel this here. Squeezing and lifting. Activate it. Good. One more breath here. Squeeze and lift and hold and bring it in. Shake the hips side to side. And then you're going to do the other side, grounding down. Left leg goes back. Push through the heel. So the heel's pressing, toes point down. Ground into your knuckles. Pull your shoulders back so you're activating your core, and then little pulses here. Lift the leg just a little bit. Squeeze and lift. Find the glute. Hamstring also turns on a little. Good. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Lift. Keep lifting. Little pulses, and then hold it there. Squeeze and hold. Hold, hold. Keep pushing in the floor away and bring it in. Hips a little sway. Really good. Nice. Okay, and then you're going to come down and just do a little wheel of life instead of pigeon. Find a little twist here. Right hand down. Reach through. Just a little stretch. Breathe into your rib cage here. Push into your right hand. Come back to center. And just, you can hold here as long as you need to. You can fold into the center between your knees. And just give the actual glute med is getting a nice little stretch here on both sides maybe, or especially on the right. You can move around a little bit, find the right spot that feels good. One more breath. Again, you can take as much time as you need here and just come back up. Come to the other side. Wheel of life. So you can bring a little extra weight on the left side here, in the right butt cheek. The left hand grounds, right arm reaches through. Little twist. You can bend your right elbow, but keep your left arm straight if you can. One more breath here. Or as long as you need. Okay, come back to the center. And then fold over through the center here, palms open. And just get into that side. Little stretch. Again, take as much time as you need. Come up and down, feet in front. Little windshield wipers. Good. So we're going to come onto the side and you're going to do those clamshells. Here, arms in, and you're going to find your glute, hand on the floor, really strong. And you're just going to do little tiny movements here. Activating the muscle, isolating that muscle. So you know what it feels like for you. You might have to change the angle here. And then you can do a few with your leg out and behind you, and just squeeze and lift and hold. Little pulses here until you find where your glute med is activated. Maybe behind you a little bit, lift on an angle, maybe toes point down as you squeeze that muscle. Hold it, bring it up, pulse up and down. Until you get to the point of fatigue on that side. Good, bring your knee in, just give it a little squeeze. Stretch the leg up. Ankle circles. Stay on your side. One more breath. Again, do that as long as you need to, and then slowly bring the knee in. Good, do the other side. Come in. And again, so hips are stacked. And you're just doing your little action here. So I find sometimes I do it like this, or you can do it up in the air. Activating that muscle a little bit more. It's a little harder, but whatever the physio told you to do. And again, same thing here. You're just going to lift and pulse up until you feel the squeeze. Hold it there. Bring your knee in. Give it a little rest. Maybe a little straightening up. Grab the back of your foot. Bring it in. Bring it out. Okay, so bridge pose. In bridge, you're really activating your glutes as well. Ground down. Tuck the tailbone and squeeze and lift. And you might even kind of come up onto your toes here as you lift up. Keep your hands down, your elbows down, and squeeze, 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 squeeze your glutes, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And play with it. You can drop your heels. Maybe you come onto the heels to activate the glute med a little bit more. So walk your feet further from you. As you come up, squeeze and lift and hold, and hold and hold. Like you're pressing a block between your thighs and activate those glute meds. Notice how one side is a little weaker, of course, on the left. So just see about maybe moving the hips around till you activate it more. Hold that spot for a sec. Breathe into it. Keep holding. On your heels, lift your hips higher. Squeeze the muscles. Breathe. Come down one vertebra at a time. Drop down, butterfly. And then just as this little tiny sweepings, you can bring your knees in. And then take your knees to the side. To end, you can do just regular shavasana or legs up the wall. When you're done, bring your knees in. Take as much time as you need here. Give your low back a little.